Hello everyone and welcome back to the Football Insider Gaming channel. I am Connor Bromley and today we are going to count down the top 10 players who play in that number 10 position in the Premier League according to Football Manager. So let me know in the comments what you think of this list and whether or not Football Manager has got this list completely wrong. There are some players on this list that you could argue are wingers, but I've kind of went with what their best position is on the game and where I think in real life they probably play best. So all these players kind of number 10, some of them could also play on the wing. And we'll start at number 10 and we have Mason Mount of Manchester United. And this is an interesting one for me because I think Mount has really struggled for injuries since he's got to Manchester United, and he hasn't necessarily found his best form yet. When he was at Chelsea and he was in the Champions League, and I remember him at Derby and he was a really exciting player there, I could certainly see an argument for him to be in the top 10. But I just think over the last few years, Mount, because of injuries, has really struggled at Manchester United to establish himself. So I probably wouldn't have Mason Mount in the top 10, but Football Manager squeaks him in the 10th position. In 9th is a player that I think has probably been harshly done by, probably should be higher, and that's Morgan Rodgers of Aston Villa. And since he signed from Middlesbrough a couple of years ago, he has been just inspired for Aston Villa, really. I mean, his form has been excellent, his goal scoring has been excellent, and he's kicked on and on and on. He's got like this physicality, he's got pace, he's got the technique. He's kind of just morphed himself into an all-round player, and it's one that's slipped through the net for Manchester City because Morgan Rodgers probably would fit in very well to this Manchester City team. He comes in at number 9. I definitely think there's an argument to say that he should be in the top 5 of number 10s in the Premier League right now. And at number 8 is Morgan Gibbs-White, who last season had a very good year at Nottingham Forest, but this season's definitely come sort of off the boil a little bit. I don't know if it's the amount of games that they're playing because they're in Europe. I don't know if there's other factors at play. Of course, he was linked with Tottenham and he was going there and then he ended up signing a new contract at Nottingham Forest. I don't know if all of that comes into play, but Morgan Rodgers comes in at number 8. And on last season's form, I think that's fair, but this season he's definitely had a little bit of a regression. At number 7, we have Tottenham's James Maddison, and it's a difficult one to rate because, of course, he's injured right now. He's been injured for a while. On his day, when he's playing at his best, James Maddison is one of the most exciting players in the Premier League. Unfortunately, his best doesn't happen often enough. He's had quite a few injuries in his career, and right now he's still nursing his way through another injury. So James Maddison gets in at number 7, and when he's fit, I think that's probably a fair rating. At number 6, this is another Tottenham player, Xavi Simons, and I think he had a slow start at Tottenham. I think it's fair to say that. I think he did struggle when he first came in. Starting to see signs, though, over the last few weeks that he's beginning to find his form. Recently watched him play against Man City in the Premier League, and I thought he was excellent in that game. And if he can continue to find that level of performance, he will definitely be deserving of this place in number 6 on the list. But right now, from what we've seen of him in the Premier League, I don't know if he'd be in the top 10 of number 10s, but I certainly think he can get there as time goes on. Right, we're in the top 5 now, and we'll start with Arsenal's Eberechi Eze. Of course, you could have him on the wing as well, but I've included him as a number 10. And since he's went to Arsenal, I think he's had some moments which have been very good, but I think he's also had some moments where he's not been getting in the team and he's been struggling for minutes. And he's maybe not been as explosive as he was at Crystal Palace, because at Crystal Palace he's the main man. Everything sort of went through him, and at Arsenal that clearly is not the case. He's in the top 5. I think that's probably is fair. I think he has been, over the last few years, consistently one of the most creative and technically gifted players. At number 4, we also have another Arsenal player. And again, this guy could probably play as a number 9 as a striker, but Kai Havertz, I've put him in the number 10. I think that's probably where he prefers to play. I don't know if he prefers to be a number 9 or a number 10, I'm not sure. But yeah, I've included him as a number 10. And since he's went to Arsenal, he's really kicked on. He was at Chelsea and struggled. I mean, he did win the Champions League for them. I think he scored the goal in the Champions League final win against Man City all them years ago. And after that, he struggled. He got that big move to Arsenal, and he's fitting that team really well. His physicality has been very useful for Arsenal. And I think Kai Havertz has proven himself to be a really effective player in the Premier League since making that move. So he gets in to the top 4. Now we're in the top 3. We've got Manchester City's Phil Foden, and he could probably feel a bit disappointed that he's not higher on this list. Foden has just been consistently excellent for Man City pretty much since he broke into the team. He's still not even that old considering the amount of games he's played for Man City, and he's helped them win all sorts of trophies. He's still one of their most important players. I think you can feel a little bit disappointed to be ranked number 3 on this list. But yeah, Phil Foden comes in at 3rd. In number 2 is a newcomer. I suppose for Football Manager, it's a newcomer anyway. Florian Wirtz comes in at number 2 at Liverpool. And we're beginning to see signs that he is clicking it again. He's maybe getting used to the physicality of the Premier League, because I think he struggled, it's fair to say, when he first came in with the physicality. But he seems to be getting better and better as time's going on, which is no surprise, because technically he is one of the most gifted players in the league, and he can do things that a lot of players can't. And I think next season we're probably going to see the best from Florian Wirtz. We certainly have to, considering the price tag that Liverpool paid. And at number 1, number 10 in the Premier League, according to Football Manager, is Cole Palmer of Chelsea. And Palmer has, since he moved to Stamford Bridge, just kicked on as a player. I think when he went there, people were thinking it's a lot of money to spend on a player that couldn't get in the Man City team. But I think he would get in the Man City team right now. And it's another, we talked about Morgan Rodgers, but this is another error, I think, from Manchester City to have let Cole Palmer go. And he's one of the most exciting players in the league. He can do things that a lot of players can't. He struggled a little bit with injuries this season, but last season when he was playing at his best, he's one of the most exciting players to watch in the Premier League. So I think he probably is deserving of the number 1 spot. But let me know what you think of this list. Is there any players that are missing? Any players that shouldn't be on there? Let me know in the comment section below. Please also like and subscribe to the channel as well. That's really appreciated. And we'll catch you again for another video.